In the beginning of this movie, we are shown a family who had come to the Gulf to celebrate their son Ben's birthday. Everything was going on normally. Julian jumps into the sea to swim in Ben's boat. When Ben and his dad Dom were busy fishing, suddenly Ben felt as if something big was circling them. When he looked, the sea was normal, but then someone suddenly pulled him into the sea. At the same time, the instruments also started giving signs of danger. Brother, sister, and Tom did not pay attention to them because they were fishing. While drowning, Julian tries to save himself and also calls out to Tom, but no one pays attention to him. Now Julian started feeling as if the water was going behind him, and he was also moving behind the water. Now luckily, Tom also noticed Julian and stuck him in the water. To save her, Ben also came near them saying on. Where Julian was saved from drowning, Ben joined him there. Both of them were pulled on the water, and Julian's life was saved by throwing him. When Ben came back safely, after a minute, he angrily says to someone that where was your brother? When it was told that whoever goes for swimming, someone will keep an eye on him, then why didn't you? Brother, if I had gone, what would have happened to your mom? Cassie herself also felt guilty. After she said sorry, they tried to forget this and celebrate Cassie's birthday at night. At the same time, Cassie's boyfriend called, and he notices that there was a very bad wind in the city, seeing which she got worried for a minute because she was not at a safe place at that time. She goes and tells about it to her mom and dad, and they all decide to check the safety. While saying this, they notice that fishes and sharks were surrounding them, and according to Tom, fishes or sharks. She says this before a storm arrived because she cannot predict the wave. Now, she had predicted the coming storm. She had to deal with it, but before that, she had to deal with these sharks. Because of her words, suddenly, their boat gets a strong shock, and Tom goes into the water to check it. The friends saw that there was a very sharp wound on the boat, which was definitely done by a boat. After checking, when Tom came back to his boat, he was in a very bad state. Julian applies stitches on his wounds, and Tom gives them all the bad news. Due to the punishment given by Tom, they will not be able to move forward. The safe option they had was to call someone for help, but the signals had also stopped. Even the radio was not picking up any signal. In this difficult condition, Dom starts checking his food item. They had only drinking water for 4 days and nothing else, but Tom was sure that he was on a shipping route. Ships often pass through here. Someone will see them. During these talks, suddenly a loud noise is heard from Brother. When they went outside, they saw that a Metroid was about to hit the ground and was heading towards their ship. To confront it, Tom quickly turns his engine towards it, but he did not know that if he did so, his ship would be destroyed, and that is exactly what happened, and the engine of the ship was destroyed. Another Metroid also started moving towards them. They could not say anything else to save themselves, so they quickly went towards the lower part and also wore live checkers. After which, they heard a loud sound, and all of them fainted. When they regained consciousness, all of them were alive. The younger ones were of course surprised, but the family was surprised. Now, despite there being a very big hole inside their boat, there was no water inside their boat at all. When Dom Orban went outside and looked, their boat had come to a deserted rocky area. This place had completely changed where there was water. Now only mountains of soil were left. Tom quickly took out the compass and started looking for the direction. Then he came to know that something has gone wrong with the Earth. All the poles of the Earth have changed. The South Pole had come on the North Pole of the Earth, while the North Pole had gone on the South Pole, and so on. Where the desert was, all the water of the sea had shifted there, and now the desert was in place of the sea. It had been made, and as soon as this thing was realized, everyone was shocked. A heart-wrenching thing told that humanity must have been killed in all these processors. That is, humans must have been killed. Julian was so shocked by all this news that she lost her senses. She now locks herself in a cabin and does not talk to anyone. Now Julian starts collecting her leftover food, while Keaton blows a lot of his birdie's bells in the air to tell if there is any human alive. He will come to help them. While he tries to talk to someone through the radio, he tries to contact someone expecting that there will be no response, but surprisingly, he got a response, and this response was given by a captain who was in Samaritan at this time from a ship, and he also knew the story of such shifting of the sea because he was also in Samaritan like Tom's family. That is why he survived this accident. Captain is told that the poles of the Earth will return to their original position in about a week. Similarly, the seas will also return to their original position, and at that time, its waves will be very dangerous. That is why Captain advises Tom to find a high place and go there, as there are more chances of survival. Hearing this, Jo immediately asks her children to pack. While Dog requests Captain that there are more chances of survival inside your Severin too, can you keep our children? Then Captain tells that he wants to do this, but cannot because his Severin is very small. They have been kept together here, and in this way, there is place for only one person inside him, or does Tom place Captain's place? Please adjust with both the children. In return, I will help you in whatever way you want from me. Captain had now agreed to his proposal. Tom now guesses his location and tells him that he will be there in just 2 days. That means before the sea waves return, they will take their children safely to Summer Ring, after which their lives will be saved. The whole family of Captain was now ready for their their journey. Dom saw from a distance that a strange man was walking with his dog. Dom noticed this was that man. That is why Tom wanted to help him. He also gave him water. As soon as the man drank that water, instead of thanking Tom, he attacked him, and Julia had seen this while standing far away. That man had badly hit the kanji lying in his hand, saying stack inside Tom. She could not save her husband, but to save her children, she hid both of them in the cabin, telling them about the danger inside the boat, and then told them that it should be used only when we need it very badly. While they were still talking about this, the boat reached the door of their room inside the yacht. To save herself from him, Julian goes to a washroom and starts stitching her wounds there. Meanwhile, he starts searching the yacht, and as soon as he finds something to eat, he starts eating it quickly. It was clear that he was hungry for many days. After eating, when the boatman went after Julian to kill him, he saw that the boatman had escaped from the hole in the boat from where the boat was coming, but due to his misfortunes, Killer K saw him and started barking at him, and to silence him, Julian kills him and herself hides under the boat. Actually, she would not have met the killer, but when the killer saw his dog being killed in the distance, he understood that Julian was out of the boat. Now, as soon as the killer got down from the boat to catch her, Julian came inside the boat from the other side of the boat by making her way through another broken glass, but unfortunately, she was caught in a short while. She was in the hands of the killer. He tortures her a lot by holding her hair, starts strangling her, while Julian starts fighting with him in the quest to identify her. Cassie, who was watching all this from the cabin, thought this was the right opportunity to use the flux can. She used the flux can here, which did not cause much damage to the man, but his yacht started moving to save itself. Julian quickly took both her children and left from this side from where the fort attacked Julian again, but Julian, devastated by this, freed herself by pushing him back with her leg. She started crying after seeing her dad's dead body. She had not thought of all that had happened to her. She felt that all this was her fault. Neither would he have released the colorful balloons, nor would this man have come here after seeing them. Arjun was also crying near her husband when she saw that this killer has come out as soon as he was burnt. It was very stupid to stay here. They run away from here with their children. These people were very tired while running. They now stopped behind a hill to rest. The killer must have stopped chasing them. Here too, Pen was just crying, and she gave him some water to encourage him, but he had refused even that water. They were still talking about all this. Julia saw that the killer was still behind them. These three quickly started running ahead to escape from the killer. These people were also tired while running, but whenever they looked down, the killer was behind them. To escape from the killer, these people did not stop, and while running, reached a place where poisonous water was present. Anything could happen to them here, but Julian ordered his children to cross the fire from here. As soon as they left from here, Pen's condition worsened, and Julian realized that Bang was dehydrated. He had a last wish to come to him, which he gave to Bang, but nothing was going to happen with just this much water. How she comes to this point completely on her own. She was no longer sure if they would even survive or not. She had accepted her death, even all of them. She asks them to accept this, but Juniana, she tells him, do as I say, we will move ahead, and I know that I will give you a child. On saying this, Cassie and sister started walking again, and after going a little far, they saw a plane which must have been destroyed years ago and fallen into the sea. They hide inside this plane, and Julian looks at his family photo for the last time, which he had taken last night. While looking at this photo, everyone was remembering Dawn. It was quite late in the night. These people were tired too. As soon as Bane and I fell asleep, Julian got up in restlessness and came out of this plane where she saw that even in the darkness of the night, the killer had not left them. The killer had also seen her. Here, Julian acts as if she is sleeping, and as soon as Kieran comes close to her, Julian gets up for a run and attacks him and kills him by stepping on him. Finally, this danger was over from their head. Julian also slept peacefully, and when they woke up in the morning, they saw that the body of a captain was in a very bad condition, and from this they realized that this entire sea is also very dangerous. Now they had to go to that seminar where there was a captain. Now the map was visible till that time. To read further, Pen was very thirsty. He went and started drinking water in the pond nearby, although Julian had forbidden him to drink water from here. This was a poisonous pond, but Ben was so thirsty that he did not listen to anyone, and Julian had to forcibly take him out by holding his head. Ben had become ill due to drinking this water. Now Julian and Cassie make a shelter for him, where they had just rested for some time, when suddenly Junior started hearing a strange sound. When he went outside and looked, many crabs were falling towards them. To save himself from them, he started running, and out of the door, he saw a very big shape. It was a cargo ship, inside which there were many containers too. Some people had made a trap inside these containers. On seeing these three, all of them went inside a container and locked it, and Julian was left to ask for help to open the trap. A big storm of rapists was now behind them. To escape from the pen, Penn and Cassie climbed up to find the crab, and Julie also started climbing up, but by then a crab had bitten her, but she pushed it away and came up. She tied her injured leg to her leg and then fainted. Penn and Cassie saw that the crabs had entered the container by biting it, and the crabs completely attacked the people there. Although the people who had weapons tried to kill the crabs with the help of weapons, they could not kill as many crabs as they could. Morning came, and Julian regained consciousness. She saw that both her children were not there. She got very scared because this was such a dangerous place that anyone could die. Junior started crying because of losing them, but then, from a distance, she saw Cassie and Bane coming, who had actually gone in search of food and weapons. And now the crabs were also not visible from here because they had shifted from here. Julian regains his life. Julian now takes care of the wounds on his crab, while the sister starts looking at the weapons he has collected. Now Julian contacts the captain through his radio, who tells him that he has been attacked by the sea. He is very scared. He cannot help them now. The companions also told Julian that the sea is going to return to a place soon. That is why all the sea has come back. Now they did not even know in which direction they have to go to reach it, because their map had also changed in all the running around. That is why the captain now shoots in the air from Priaganj, and Ben sees that direction. These people now rapidly move towards the sea. Now a small yellow seashell had come over their head from a distance, but reaching it now seemed impossible. To reach the seashell, they had to pass over toxic waste, passing through which these people could get sick. Now, how could Julian's words sound like nonsense to Kaisi that she would be able to digest her children? These people here call it an argument, and how could Julian call it a scolding? Let's move ahead. While walking, their luck deserted them, and there was sliding in the mountains due to which Julian, who was at the back, got stuck. A huge rock fell in front of her, and she did not want to move ahead without him. But then Julian made her swear that she will save her brother in the end. Cassie tries to save her brother, and when they reach the Samarin, they find no one there. They started knocking on the door of the Samarin badly. Then the captain came out from behind, who was very tough. The captain told them that there was absolutely no chance of it breaking, and 3 people could sit in the Samarin. On hearing this, Cassie turned back where her mom was stuck. At this time, Julian was killing the crabs, coming near her with the gun, and she had almost run out of bullets. Before a crab could attack him, she came near him and gave him a hand. With her help, Julian finally managed to get out of there, and both of them ran back. They sat inside the Severin without the box. While they were putting their bag, they saw a huge wave coming from the front, which hit their Severin, and they fell unconscious. Julian. Now, when he regained consciousness, his Severin was not in the water at Haran Kundo. That big wave of the sea had dragged his Severin to the devastated city, whose condition was telling that no one would have been alive here except them, and this story ended here showing just this.